Obviously, as women, we've been giving birth and having children, and even the women who haven't given birth, they're still mothers to other people's children. But it's never necessarily labeled as an actual achievement. It's really downplayed. It's really like, okay, well, big whoop, you're a mom, no big deal. But for me, especially because now I am a mother, I really do feel like I can relate to how you're saying it now. I also feel like it's an achievement because you invest so much of yourself into building a person. It's a whole person. And I think people forget that. So how have you been able to have this achievement of being a mother basically on the same level as, I hate using the word balance because I don't believe that there's such a thing. But how have you managed to actually be this multi-hyphenate that you just described yourself to be?
Anything that we attempt in life, we need a plan.
Yeah.
We need a plan. I designed my life according to a plan. And I wanted to have kids and I wanted to have a business that thrives.
Yeah.
Every season and every year is different. You know, when you have your kids and they're small, you can't fulfill the other part of the plan just yet. You know, then the plan is that you have a newborn and now you are mommy to a newborn. And the next year you are mommy to a toddler and you can do some of your business plan. And I'm a stepmom. So when my babies were introduced to me, they were 5 and 7. And there was a time that I couldn't do single girl stuff because I was a stepmom, you know, and I did stepmom things.
Yeah.
But now my kids are 19 and 17 and 8 and 6. And there's time for all the other things to evolve, you know. I think sometimes we are very hard on ourselves to try and achieve all of it at the same time. Our balance has to look different in every stage of womanhood, mothering, parenting, personhood, so that we can feel like we are achieving in all of those stages.
Yeah.
You know, when your baby's just born, an achievement is having a shower. That's it.
Yeah.
Just try breastfeed or feed. Keep them alive, you know?
Yeah. That's why I don't like the word balance. Because it kind of gives this idea that you have to put the same amount of time, effort, and energy into each part of your life equally. So it has to be 30% here, 30% there, 30% there. When in fact, it's not that. And exactly what you were saying, you know, sometimes in that season in your life, you have to have 70% on the baby, for example. Or if you're newly married, that 70% of your attention is going to be on your marriage. And so on and so forth. I think what trips us up is seeing other people online, especially these days, and thinking they've got it all figured out. They're doing it all. And those kinds of headlines and social media posts, you know, so-and-so's doing it all. And it's like, how is she doing it? How is she doing it all? Because I can't be doing it all. I'm failing. So that's the reason why I really want to chat to you, because on the outside, yes, it does look like you're doing it all. And not to say that you're not, but I appreciate that you've just mentioned now that you need to look at the season and think about what is an achievement in this season. I think that's really key. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
The first thing I want to say is if you're going to have a child, make sure that you have a support structure and it won't necessarily be your parents. We have all these metaphors. It takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
It also might not be someone that you're paying, you know. Not all help, support is people that we pay.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really, as a change maker, social media is not good for us all the time. It's not. Stay off your phone. If you just had your baby, unless someone has referred you with a link, have a buddy that refers only positive content to you. But you're going to have to stay off your phone because it's not healthy. It's not good all the time.
Yeah.
You know, balance became imbalance the minute we started comparing ourselves to other people. In my life, I guard myself very much against life.
How do you do that?
I don't expose myself to too much.
Yeah.
I'm not on social media a lot. I'm not on news a lot. And I really try and understand that all people who are different to positive is someone that needs my help. When my daughter comes home and this morning says to me, everyone is going to this birthday party and I'm not invited, I say to her, that's okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
And instead of leaning on all these metaphors of acceptance and this and that, I say maybe the mom just couldn't afford it and they just left you off. And in our world, what are you doing today? Let's think. You're going to spend time with mommy and this afternoon daddy's going to put a fish on the brine. You know, sometimes gratitude comes across as privilege, But we are going to have to start sitting in our own gratitude and what we want to do in that moment and stop comparing ourselves to other people, because it's always going to look unbalanced when I compare my life to yours.
Yeah.
You know? So practically in my own life, I literally look at what is there to do. Today happens to be a day for sport, for you. I'm going to spend time with my little girl, and there's a bride with my husband. I don't have time for chit-chatter or being on social media and comparing myself or seeing who's launched a new sparkling wine. If it's not helping people, if it's not servicing my family, if it's not changing the world and making people feel like they belong, it's not for me today. It doesn't fit into my schedule.
Do you feel like you've always known what your purpose was?
My kids are the reason why I discovered my purpose.
Is it?
And that is why I say to people, when you decide to have children, don't just have children to procreate or because our bodies are able to make. Think about why you want kids.
Yeah.
Think about the why. You know, when I had my children, I was in a season of feeling like I read up about a lot of philosophy, and I was in a space where my mentorship was pastors and rabbis.
Yeah.
And I've always felt that if you're going to have children, you need to have them to design a better world. Practically, that's why we're here. We're here to design a better world. I know it seems like a really far-fetched, crazy dream, but it's my dream.
Yeah.
I really believe that my child, who I've called Esther, is going to be the queen of good. And if she's not invited to a party, that's okay, because maybe she needs to go through all of those feels so that she can help someone else eventually who's going to go through the same feels of not being invited to an occasion, you know? I know that my kids were born to me in order to create a world that's better for most people.
Yeah.
And I have a responsibility that everything that I do in my everyday, day to day, has to revolve around that. And when it doesn't, I don't need to pay attention to it. There's no room for negativity in my world. I can't rely only on people's opinions. Your opinion can matter if I care about you, but if I don't care for you and you say something about my family, your opinion doesn't matter. And no, I didn't always feel that way, but I think we have to sit in ourselves and get to know ourselves. I know your journey as well. And I know, Aisha, that when you had your babies and when I had our babies, you know, we had to figure out what is going on here and on here. And once you know what's going on here, you can make a plan. And it doesn't have to be a long-term plan. It can be a micro plan. It can be a plan for today, or a plan for the week, or a plan for the month, or a plan for the year. So practically, in order to live your best life, you need a plan. You're going to need to have a plan. How does that work practically? I don't need to look at other people for that plan. I have to look internal, and that's self-work.
Yeah.
Whether it's a therapist, a coach, or mentorship within your community, or mentorship online, you know. I always say to people, we can afford online and data and paid for television and Netflix. We can afford all those things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to one therapy session, we say it's expensive.
That's so true.
So invest in one session where you can pour your heart out, get to know yourself, make a plan, stick to some of it, and build your village and relationship from your household in and not from the outside in. Because if you don't prescribe what you need in your own family, people are going to tell you what you need. And practically, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time for people to tell me what I need.
Yeah.
No.
But that's the thing, because, you know, listening to you now, you've definitely gone through that already. You've gone through the opinions. You've gone through the people saying, you know, the social pressure of how you should be as a woman in this day and age, as a mother, as a businesswoman and all of that. But what about, you know, for people who don't, they just are, I don't want to use the term easily influenced, but maybe just, you know, feeling a bit swayed. How did you get to this level where, you know what, like you said to me just now, if I don't care about you, then I don't care what you have to say. How did you get to that?
My life, I realize, is not like everyone else's because I work in media and I've always been exposed to the opinion of other people. I get that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It is no different to you stepping into motherhood. The day we decide to be mothers, the day we decide to be in entertainment, the day we decide to be public figures online, any decision that we make is a step forward into an opportunity to be judged. So it's no different. And so I can apply the same principles that I've applied in entertainment to be judged and to be praised, I can apply in motherhood and every other decision that I make.
Yeah.
If you feel that you are easily persuaded, or you feel that even as a young mom, peer pressure is something that you still answer to, take time off and quickly find out what are the things that you like. And if you're not sure, just ask the questions regularly. It will come to you. What do I want? Who am I really? Asking questions like that, the answers will come to you.
Yeah.
And then you don't need to answer to all those external voices that tell you who you are.